The December quarter inflation numbers will be released later this morning, and economists are predicting the annual rate of inflation will fall to 4.3%. Joining me now is our business reporter, Edward Boyd. Ed, oil prices fell at around 20% during the fourth quarter. This should help reduce inflation significantly.
Look, petrol prices were a huge factor last year, pushing up costs for the average Australian and for transport companies as well. And that obviously flows through to supermarket shelves because the price of getting goods around the country was elevated. However, oil prices, they fell 20% in that December quarter. That's brought down the price of petrol at the Bowser over that period of time. It's a big part of everyone's weekly spend is petrol. So with that falling, the expectation is the annual rate of inflation is going to fall as well. So it was 5.4% in the September quarter. It's expected to fall today in the December quarter to 4.3%. And today we also get the monthly inflation indicator for December, which is stats just for that month. And on that month alone, December, they're expecting inflation to get down to 3.7% on that month. So we're looking to see this overall trend of inflation coming down. It's come down pretty significantly. It still has a bit of a ways to go. But Laura, if the numbers come in a little bit better than anticipated today, then the stock market's probably going to jump pretty sharply. And we're near a record high right now on the ASX 200. We're only 3 points off the record high yesterday. So it could very well happen today that the stock market could hit a record high after the inflation numbers come out at 11:30.
OK, well, we'll keep an eye on the market. It's just opened. The RBA, of course, will hold its first cash rate decision of the year next week. Today, with the inflation data, is really the final piece in the puzzle here. That's pretty critical.
Super critical. These are really the numbers they look at very closely, the quarterly CPI and the trimmed mean, where they strip out big rises and falls in costs in the consumer price index. So the RBA is going to see today's numbers and then going to have a really good idea of how they want to move next week. And look, the expectation is they're going to keep rates on hold at 4.35%. But we did see the December retail sales numbers out yesterday showing sales fell almost 3% in the month of December, which basically means consumers really cut back on their spending in a pretty big way. So the Reserve Bank may potentially look at those numbers yesterday and today's inflation figures and go, we might actually need to start cutting the cash rate a bit earlier than anticipated. There are 2 cash rate cuts priced in by the market this year, coming later in the year, but there's now the potential that those cash rate cuts could be earlier. So we'll get to hear from Michelle Bullock, the Governor of the RBA, next week, and she should hopefully give us some guidance on where rates are probably going to end up towards the end of this year, Laura.
Can't wait for that.